Hello again, and we're on part two of my 3,000 subscriber Q&A. Thank you again if you're watching, and I'll just get back to the questions. Gina Stainier Books. I'd love to hear more about your tiny house. How did you end up there? How long have you been there? Do your cats like it? Is that a sleeping loft? Is that a sleeping loft at the top of the stairs? Oh, and I just love that you managed to get bookshelves into your home. It is just beautiful. Well, thank you, Gina. I absolutely love my tiny home, and my friend Ben built it for me. I live on Ben's, he built me a little house, and he put me on his property. And when we first started discussing in a serious way about starting this endeavor, making this into a real project, we're going to build one of these tiny houses. Ben's more than capable of actually doing it, so there are a lot of other considerations. And when finally, when I finally decided, yes, this is something that I want to do, and Ben and I sat down to start having those serious conversations about what is this going to look like. I said I wanted floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, and I want the rest of the house designed around that. So we can sacrifice, when you're building a tiny house, you can have things that you love. You can build them any way that you want, but there's going to be priorities, and that space needs to be sacrificed somewhere. And we just managed to do it. Ben designed it, but it was important to me, and I absolutely loved them. Ben hand built these shelves. He had raw lumber, and he made the boards. It's incredible. He did that for the whole thing. And I love living here. Andy, my little cat running around, he'll be 3 in June, and so that means that I've been living here for almost 3 years. We moved in together. And Daphne loves it here too. The house has all these levels. You can hop up in the loft or sit on that platform, hop around on the kitchen counter. There's windows everywhere, cat beds and cat toys. So I like to think that it's the perfect little home for 2 gigantic cats. That's my loft. I sleep up in there. You can see there's a skylight above the bed. I get to see the moon sometimes. Trip. Have you ever tried writing? And do you have any plans to? Have you ever thought, okay, this might be a good idea for a novel? And I write occasionally. It's something that whenever I think about it, I really wish that I did keep a journal in a much more consistent fashion. I have ideas, and sometimes I'll write something, but in no way could I say that I'm a writer or an aspiring writer. It's funny, I often do have these ideas where I'll think, well, that would make a great idea for a novel, and I always forget them, and since I don't keep a journal, I have no way of remembering them. But yeah, I really should write more. Chris, have you ever considered reading any Marxist books? Books by Marx, Engels, Lenin? Just asking, it's what I'm reading these days. I've read the Communist Manifesto years ago, and I have very little interest. It's not. I don't know if it's political science or whatever it's called. I'm not that interested in reading about socialism or communism or capitalism or anything like that. I recognize it's influential and it's part of the world that we live in, the effects of these kind of big ideas, but rarely, never do I think about sitting down for an afternoon and reading Karl Marx. Eric Grabowski. I was inspired to read the Brothers Karamazov after watching your videos on Russian writers. Not sure which video it was really, halfway through it. I've read Dostoevsky a bit before, but all were much smaller works. Notes from Underground and The Gambler. Both great, but thanks. The Brothers Karamazov is super dope. And congratulations. I agree. The Karamazov brothers is super dope. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that you're reading it. Dostoevsky and the Karamazov brothers. Karamazov brothers, Crime and Punishment, The Idiot. Like you said, the Gambler, Notes from Underground. They're all just incredible. So I really hope that you enjoy it. Rainbow, Sky, Gay and Proud. You have a beautiful voice, Matthew. Why, thank you. And the first question: What do you like about Oscar Wilde? Okay. What do you like about Oscar Wilde? What do you like about Marcel Proust? What do you like about Nathaniel Hawthorne? What do you like about Steve? I imagine Steve Donahue. Oscar Wilde and Marcel Proust are just two of my favorite writers. I started reading Oscar Wilde first. Maybe it was 19 or 20 or something like that. And at first you can't avoid the cleverness and wit that Oscar Wilde way of delivering conversation, those one-liners and zingers, and his dialogue just naturally feels very springy and immediate. Maybe not necessarily natural, but it's bouncy and fast. But it's a great way of getting into Oscar Wilde. And like so many great writers, like as soon as you're in the door, all of the other amazing things about his novel or plays or stories or lectures or his essays, all of these other things come out. All of those one-liners aren't just these superficial, shallow throwaway lines. You can actually spend a lot of time thinking about how double-edged and biting they are for a social commentary. His society plays beautiful, and then Martin Proust is beautiful for a whole other set of reasons, but some of my most some of my most pleasurable time reading has been Proust. Just long afternoons with these thick books, and if you love reading and you love Proust, you just have so many pages to flap through. It's incredible. Nathaniel Hawthorne. What do you like about Nathaniel Hawthorne? And I really can't say. I read The Scarlet Letter when I was in high school or whenever you read it, and hated it. Just maybe this year or last year, I read The House of the Seven Gables and loved it. And I haven't had the opportunity to explore anymore. I still want to go back and read The Scarlet Letter again. I know he has a collection of short stories that I haven't read, and his whole body of work is yet to be examined for me. So I still don't know. And what do you like about Steve Donahue? Well, he is a 28-year-old super hottie. So what's not to like about that? Cozy reading with Quaker Cats. Hello, Summer. Congratulations, Matthew. Thank you. 3,000 is huge. I just read The Craziest Question. How would the world be different if crocodiles could fly? I don't expect you to answer it, just wanted to share. So, of course, it sounds terrifying, these flying crocodiles, but my immediate thought was depressing, because I just thought, well, they would all already be extinct as soon as man had invented gunpowder and the gun, or maybe even before then with bows and arrows. We would have shot them all out of the sky and out of existence. They'd be hanging in people's drawing rooms. So, not a very. My answer, I guess, didn't keep the end of the bargain as far as levity, but they would all be dead, I think. Super Weasel 98. What time do we have? Congratulations, Matthew. I've enjoyed your videos for a few months now, and you've introduced me to some fantastic literature. I feel you always have something valuable and original to say in your commentaries, and just consistently a pleasant person. Well, thank you for all of those kind words. No question, but very complimentary. Thank you. Oh, and then questions. I wrote these too. Here's my small set of questions. What do you think is the future of literature? Is it waning in importance and falling behind other mediums with artistic innovation? What will be the new forms that literary creativity will find itself in the age of the internet? And who are the authors you believe to be leading the way forward? And I'm in no position to have any valuable opinion. I really don't read much current fiction, not even just week to week new releases, but for the 15 or 18 years that I've been reading, I'm rarely picking up new books. I pretty consistently read like the New York Review of Books or the London Review of Books, and just kind of keep an eye out on what might be interesting to me. And it's really rare that I even want to pick up a new book, a new current release. Of course, it's not like I never had, but it's such a small amount that I couldn't talk with any value. I couldn't say anything as far as what's innovative or lacking. Some authors that I like that are still current would be Amir McBride. Her debut novel, A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing, and Strange, Lesser Bohemians and Strange Hotel are just amazing, but both just great. Um, Lucy Ellman's new book, most recent book. Um, Now I can't even remember the title of it. Um, what was it called? Duck's Newberry Port. Duck's Newberry Port. I think that's a great, um, at least a great example to something that you mentioned as far as the influence of living in the internet age. And it's a very, it's a book that um, feels like the internet was, um, if not an influence, a resource. And I still like Will Self. I think he's kind of a faulty or uneven writer. I don't know if he's had his one. Well, I don't want to say that, but um, his trilogy is quite good. Umbrella, um, Shark, and Phone. But um, I like that all three of those writers are that, like you said, are taking chances and being innovative and um, doing things that are new and interesting. So those are three writers that I've pretty much will read anything that comes out. I'll pick up. Oh, and we're done. Okay, well that was. Pedro Garcia says congrats, thank you Pedro, and Shelf Starters says congrats Matthew, and thank you too. So yeah, that's it. That's a set of questions for 3,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody that is watching, and thank you to everybody that left questions, and thanks for the subscribing and all those sorts of things. Hopefully this was fun, and thank you. Leave a comment if you would like, and take care. Bye.